Is engineering still worth it as a career? I was asked this question and it got a lot of views on Instagram. So let's discuss it, right? Is engineering still worth it? To give you guys perspective, I got my engineering degree in petroleum engineering in 2018, University of Louisiana at Lafayette. Really good school for petroleum engineering. I didn't become a petroleum engineer because I wanted to build my own brand in fitness, but I have love for my fellow engineers, right? Simply because the problem solving abilities and the hard work and grit that it takes to go through engineering school, you become a well-grounded, well-thinking, problem-solving, creative thinking person. So I'm gonna give you guys the truth. Is engineering worth it? Still, yes. But there's a caveat. You gotta make sure you get into the right engineering. You gotta understand that these companies, these systems, right? There's so many ups and downs. I remember when I was in college and I got into petroleum simply because I literally searched up highest paying engineering degree, highest paying degree. And at that moment, it told me petroleum engineers were the highest paying 4-year degree out of college. I was always entrepreneur minded, but I would say, hey, if I'm gonna go to school, let me get out of school and at least make some money. So I remember I was in San Antonio and I searched up highest paying degree out of college. And it said petroleum engineering. I said, that's the one I'm going with, right? Didn't really have a passion, right, for that. I just wanted to be successful. And I think a lot of engineers, you care about your work, but you might not be the most passionate about engineering. You're an intelligent being, you're very hardworking, right? But you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful. We have all seen what has happened to software engineers, how the job market is literally fucking destroyed, how software engineers have literally been replaced by AI. Companies are not even gonna be hiring software engineers, right, moving forward because they're gonna just, it doesn't make any sense. Mid-level engineers, low-level engineers, like in software, are almost extinct at this point, right? I had so many students who, when I first started coaching them, they were so excited to get into software. Oh my God, I got a software degree, working at high-level companies. And over the last 2 years, these companies have slashed employment, fired tens of thousands of people. So what you must do is, if you're going to get into engineering, it has to be strategic. It can't be, I'm just going to look up whatever works and just go because I like this. No, you have to pay a very close attention to where the markets are moving. So if you're in civil, let's say you're in civil engineering, right? I don't think civil is going anywhere. I don't think mechanical is going anywhere. I don't think chemical is going anywhere, right? Even electrical. I don't think these fields are gonna be that impacted. However, what you gotta be careful of is you gotta do your research and see what I would advise engineers to do is look at the possible companies that you would wanna work for, and you wanna analyze where are these companies moving? This will save you 4 years of your life. I want you to go and search up, right? Search up whatever company you want to work with or work for, whether it's oil and gas, whether it's civil, whatever it's mechanical, chemical, whatever it is, right? Go and search up and see what these companies' future plans are. Go and see who they're hiring. Go and see what projects they're working on. If you see any of these motherfuckers, you see them starting to diverge, transition into incorporating more and more AI systems, don't do it. Because what happened to software engineers is when COVID hit and there was such a demand, right? I have a feeling that they did this shit on purpose. There was such a boom in software, such a fucking boom. There was such a demand for software engineers that so many people were like, oh my God, that is the next best thing. Let me just go to school for this. But I think they were planning this shit the whole time. They knew that AI was gonna be this advanced in a couple of years. So you gotta be careful. Go and ask yourself where these companies are moving. What are they doing strategically? What projects are they working on? And if you see them making a shift towards automation, be careful. Be careful, right? Things like extraction of oil and gas, petroleum, the field that I was in, you're gonna be, I mean, thing about petroleum that I did not want to go do is live in the middle of Oklahoma somewhere, right? Or go on an oil rig for 16 to 20 days out the month. And it was so up and down. I came into engineering with the highest hopes. And then by the time I was graduating, it was like nobody was getting jobs. I was like, the markets influence these economies so much. Like, I'm not gonna get into politics on this channel, but who's in office, what their agenda is, impact the job market so much, right? That you have to be extremely careful. This is for all fields. This is not just for engineers. But I noticed specifically when I was in school for petroleum, like this shit was, I'm like, I came into school 110, 109. This is the booming field. Everybody was trying to get in it. Junior year, going into senior year, recent graduates are struggling to get jobs. I'm like, what the fuck? You mean to tell me in a matter of 3 to 4 years, things can change? Look what happened to software. Yes, in 3 to 4 years, things can change. In 3 to 4 years, you can go from one of the most popular, booming fields to literally historically cut, like fucking getting rid of the motherfuckers. Not even accepting any software engineers or letting these people come into the workforce at a drastic rate. So yes, 3 to 4 years, yeah, that's a fucking critical time frame. You got to see what these companies are doing. Because that's how long it's going to take you to get your degree. And the reason I love engineering is because engineering is, in my opinion, the only degree that is worth it where you are going to be getting a really good paying, stable job if the one you pick is not moving towards more AI systems, but it gives you a chance to reinvest, right? If you look at the medical field, look at lawyers, engineering is the one field where you only have to necessarily dedicate 4 years of your life, right? And you can get a 6-figure salary. That is, I don't think anything else, even me now out of school for this long, I graduated in 2018. I've been out of school for almost 10 years. Like, this the only field that I see for 4 years of your life, you can get a very stable, very powerful degree, right? Where you're respected, you're treated well, but you got to be careful that in those 3 or 4 years, the markets don't change drastically. So is engineering still worth it? Yes. I got an engineering degree. I have a lot of engineering students. You got to be careful which one you're going into. You got to do your own research. Don't let your department in your college or your university tell you, yeah, it's all amazing. They don't give a fuck. They're getting paid to teach you in a classroom. Be careful. Be careful. Let me tell you how you know it's going to shit. I figured this shit out when we was in college, right? We saw a lot of the fucking recent graduates coming back to teach. That's the number one sign. If you are about to be in a field, if you're going into a field, right? Let's say you're your junior year or senior year of engineering, right? And you start to see, or you're in your freshman year of engineering, and you see people coming back that just graduated to come be teacher assistants, run. That's the sign right there. Run. If they're not going in the field and getting work, but they're coming back to teach, you know you got fucked. You know you got fucked. But as engineers, what you want to do, your problem solving skills are your gift. You take your problem solving skills and you figure out how to reinvest that, right, into high income skills. So it's so crazy to me, right? I wasn't the best student in engineering by any means. I was a C student in engineering because I'm wholeheartedly an entrepreneur. I'm more entrepreneur than engineer. But I had some friends of mine that were like unbelievably smart. And it's so crazy to me, right? How you have high problem solving skills, right? But you don't learn how to turn it into high income. It's fucking insane. I'm like, you motherfuckers are so smart. And you didn't connect the dots that, hey, let me take my ability to solve these complex problems, right? These real world problems. If you're a fucking civil engineer, you out here building roads and building the infrastructure of the world. Like, bro, use that shit and get into a high income skill. You will crush it. If you're an engineer right now and you're not so fucking sure about your stability in your job, right? One of my best performing students, this guy's he's in civil. Like he's a fucking, is he civil or is he civil or chemical? I forgot which one he in. I think he's either in civil or chemical engineering, and he's in my personal brand mentorship. And what he's doing right now is he has a passion for fitness, but his problem solving skills has allowed him to take that mentality and go into personal branding, go into health and wellness, and take that dedication and discipline and crush it. Let's face the facts, guys. Like if you're an engineer, you're intelligent to some degree. So the real world making money is not as hard as it seems. You don't have to settle for your 6-figure salary. You can take those same problem-solving skills, apply it to high-income skills like sales, health and wellness, marketing. You can apply it to those things, right? And you can make more money. Fuck that. You smart, all this shit. You this fucking smart. You're not gonna take this shit and go learn something that's gonna make you more money. Ain't no nobility in poverty. There's no nobility in fucking, oh, I got an engineering degree. Congratulations, make some money. Take that fucking intelligence and go solve some real problems, and it'll be easy for you because you like, one thing I see about engineers is that they're very big overthinkers, right? Because you want to make, so be careful. Don't be an overthinker. I think you guys are looking at the world as so complicated when I would argue making money and starting a brand is a lot easier than going through engineering. Like if you guys don't even realize it. Like I would literally take my problem solving skills and jump into a personal brand, high income skill, and apply that same work ethic and dedication to build something of myself that my income is not relying on me solely. And not a job force, not the markets changing, not these companies switching to AI. I will put that problem solving ability into real high income skills. Okay, and that's what I teach. That's what I help men with. Like I said, I got engineering students that are building their personal brands that work with me. I got my engineering degree, but I decided to go be an entrepreneur. If you're an engineer right now and you know that, hey, your career might not be as stable as you would like, maybe you're a software engineer or just in whatever field that you're in and you don't like the workload that you're having to go through, the guy that I'm telling you guys about that works, that's in my mentorship, that's in, I believe in chemical or civil, right? His company literally hired him and he's the head engineer. And like he's essentially responsible for saving the fucking company. And he's like, what the fuck? These motherfuckers just hired me and they want me to save the fucking company. And like, that's what I'm saying. That's the level of workload that these companies are requiring from you. And they're only paying you 6 figures for it. Take that same intelligence and problem solving skills and build you a personal brand in a passion of yours that can generate high income. Okay? If you want some help with that, link in the description, pin comments, apply for the inner circle. Let's see if we're a good fit to work together, man.